Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, so hitting you up with something that the Lord really impressed upon my heart just recently, this morning, actually, mostly, but has been churning in me for a little while now. It comes from the scriptures in Psalms 84, verses 5 through 7. And I'm going to be reading from the New Living Translation. Here's what it says. It says, "What joy for those whose strength comes from the Lord, who have set their minds on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. When they walk through the valley of weeping, it will become a place of refreshing springs. The autumn rains will clothe it with blessings. They will continue to grow stronger, and each of them will appear before God in Jerusalem." I mean, God's just been speaking to me lately about living on a journey. And I want to hit you with three quick things that was downloaded just recently about living on a journey. Okay, number one, when you are living God's journey, you eat manna, you don't build barns. Let me say that again. When you are living on God's journey, when you are living God's journey, walking his path, following Jesus, when you are living God's journey, not yours, you eat manna, you don't build barns. Manna is something that the Lord gave miraculously to the Israelites every day, just enough for them to survive what they needed. And while they were journeying, following him, looking to him every day, they gave him what God gave them what they needed every single day. They ate supernatural food from God every day. God even instructed them, don't gather enough for tomorrow. Don't try to hoard it, save it. This is what you need. Depend on me for what you need. When you're living on God's journey, that's how you live. That's how you live, dude. You live off of his supernatural provision that's manifested from him in his presence as you follow him. Jesus told this story of a rich man who had a bunch of crop, and he said, man, what am I going to do with all my cheddar? What am I going to do with all my stuff? What am I going to do with my barns? This guy said, they're busting with all of the provision I have. What am I going to do with all this provision? And he said, I know what I'll do. I'll build bigger barns. No, you don't do that when you're following God. You don't live like that. You don't think like that. Oh, build bigger barns? No. When you're following God, when you're living on God's journey, you eat manna. You survive from his provision, not what you can get or do for yourself. You don't build barns. You eat manna. The second one, when you're living God's journey, whatever you lose for him doesn't slow you down. It lightens you. This is a huge one because we can very easily get caught up in what we're giving up for God, quote unquote, what we're losing for God, quote unquote, if we follow him. But what we realize when we give it up, what we realize when we sacrifice it, is that what we were holding on to was actually holding on to us. The thing that we were leaning on as a crutch was in fact slowing us down. And if we sacrifice it to God, give it to him, our load is actually lightened and we run faster, freer than we ever have before in our life. You know, Jesus said it like this, come to me, you who are weary, heavy laden. I will give you rest, God says. Take upon yourself my yoke. My yoke is easy, Jesus says. My burden is light. So when we're living God's journey, whatever we lose for him, and it may be everything we hold dear, but whatever it is, however much it is, it doesn't slow us down to give it to God. It lightens us up. Third one, when you are living God's journey, your progress is supernatural and its effects on the natural world, supernatural, and your destination is alien, foreign. Meaning this, when you are following God's path, you're going wherever he takes you, and step by step is supernatural. It's by his grace through faith that we're saved, and that same grace of his through that same faith that we grow, that we go, that we grow, that we go, and we keep growing and we keep going. And it's supernatural every step of the way, and it affects the natural world supernaturally. If God is living inside of you and you are journeying with God, then the manifestation of his otherworldly supernatural presence is going to happen in your life and through your life. But I'll say this, I was going to say it might not, no, it will not look like the success of the world. It will be alien. It will be supernatural. And the place that he's calling you is his place, is his destination, not yours and not the world. If you find yourself going to a place that you could have seen yourself going to before you met him, you're probably going the wrong way. When you are living God's journey, your progress is supernatural. It affects you and the world around you in the natural supernaturally, and your destination and your path, and they're alien. They're foreign to you because they're not coming from you. They're coming from God. And what joy, what strength, what blessing is awaiting you when you journey with God. So my question is, are you journeying with God, or are you going your own way? And you can go your own way, like the song says, but the destination of that way is death. Or you can go God's way, and the destination of it is his place, is the miraculous place, is blessing, awesome, is more than you can imagine. So are you journeying with God today, or are you going your own way? Man, I want to encourage you, journey with God. Journey with God today. Love you. God bless you.